handshake following the last fight.
These are the people that wear badges that we trust to be caring and rehabilitating our young people, and they're not. There are many probation officers who push kids in the right direction. But when you see this, and this has been a pervasive problem, when you see this, those are probation officers that should go to prison. Those are probation officers that should be arrested immediately and put in jail, just like any other normal person that's abusing kids would be.
What do mind you boys coming through once again with a new video. And on today's video is gonna be a serious video, man, because there was 30 probational officers charged with staging gladiator fights inside Los Padrinos Juvenal Hall in LA County. Apparently from July of 2023 all the way to December of 2023, which is 5 months, there was 69 stage fights in where youngsters, kids from 12 years old to 18 years old participated on these fights because a probational officer put them in that situation. So all this came about because a video was surfaced of these fights, right? And this brought up an investigation, which right now 30 probational officers are being charged. And I'm gonna be posting the video at the end of this video. Hopefully YouTube will let us play that video. But it is a sad situation. I believe that the padrinos Juvenile Hall has been ordered to close down, but officials have been putting petitions to keep it open because they don't have a place to house all these juveniles, right? A place that's supposed to be to house juveniles, right, and help them overcome their thinking, overcome their obstacles, and guide them to become a man in society and basically break out of that lifestyle and, I don't know, contribute to the community. Apparently it was a place in where they were creating monsters, criminals that are eventually going to go to the streets and victimize more people. Just put it this way, these youngsters were victimized, and how they say it, victims create more victims. So in an environment like a juvenile hall, right, for those who've been locked up in the juvenile hall, you understand that they play through mind games. Everything is about when you see your opposition, you get off on them. If you don't do that, you're gonna be looked at differently, right? And guess what happened? The probational officers were taking advantage of this mindset of these youngsters to basically stage these fights and make fun of it. I don't know, bet on it or whatever they were doing, man. It was something that is not right, something that should be punished with prison. And hopefully, man, hopefully these guys go through it behind those walls, because for them to do this to youngsters, and basically, let's put it this way, youngsters' mind doesn't fully develop all the way to the 25 years old, right? That's why those youth offender laws came about, and a lot of people are getting out of prison, right? So by you, I don't know, let's say justifying their behavior, implementing violence into their lives and normalizing that, making them more callous to violence, and I don't know, just put them in that situation. You're creating something and you're reinforcing those beliefs that they have from the streets. And instead of helping them rehabilitate themselves, put them to school, I don't know, just make something better out of them, you're creating criminals. They were creating criminals. And I can guarantee that most of those guys are back in prison, maybe with life, and they probably victimized somebody out there on the streets, man. Because at the end of the day, you just have to put it this way. When we get a puppy, man, it's an innocent puppy, man. It grows up. You give him love. You give him attention. You feed him, stuff like that. It's going to grow up to be a nice puppy. It's going to be nice to your family, be nice to the neighbors. But if you get that puppy and all you teach him is fighting against other dogs, showing violence, normalizing that stuff, that puppy is going to grow up to be a dog who's going to be a danger to the neighbors and possibly a danger to your own family, because you cannot trust that dog around your kids or around nobody. So this is what these guys were creating, and it's sad to see a situation like this take place. But guess what? It has happened before, and it's going to continue to happen every time. We have heard about the stage fights in Corcoran. Me, I have seen that in Tehachapi as well, on the shoe or out on the yard, where they're popping cells, 3-4 cells, and send them to a different cell to go take care of business. And we might normalize that, same way that those youngsters normalize that, but it's not okay. It's not okay. We have to understand that violence is not the normal, but that is what our environment makes us believe, like that's not normal, but it's not, homie. I can guarantee you that out of those 30 professional officers, if they have bail, every single one is going to bail out because they don't want to be behind bars. Because believe it or not, those guys were going to be scared of being in prison. They're going to be scared of being in jail because they don't got the balls. They want to use these kids to fight against one another. But I can guarantee that those guys they're not going to fight another grown-ass man. And hopefully when they go to jail, when they go to prison, they get the blues and people give them the business so they can make an example out of themselves. Because at the end of the day, they're victimizing somebody who's innocent, who, yes, is involved maybe in a criminal behavior, but still is at that period. It's at that station where you can change that mentality and guide them through life. But these individuals were actually reinforcing their beliefs, creating little criminals, and eventually they grew up to victimize somebody else. And at the end of the day, man, not all professional officers are like this, man. I have seen professional officers, man, who help the youngsters, that do extras to keep them out of trouble. And we have to understand that these kids are going to be the future of our communities. And if we treat these youngsters this way, what can we expect from a community, right? Nothing but destruction. I do pray and hope that they show the pictures of these individuals, man, so people that are locked up can see them and actually do something about it. Because these guys should be punished for abusing kids, and they should be punished in the worst way. So with this being it, we are out. Don't forget to hit the like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to our channel. But I would like to ask you a question. As a juvenile, if you were in the juvenile system, have you seen officers staging fights like this? Because I'm pretty sure there has been situations in where the officers stage fights like this, and we cannot normalize this. This was wrong behavior, and those guys supposed to be punished, man, because all they're doing is victimizing kids for their personal gratification. So with this being it, we are out. To next video. Muchas gracias. And here we can see how they are engaging in the fight, and how you have a probational officer acting like a ref, as everybody enjoys the show to make fun of or whatever.